Well, we are headed out of Virginia today, but our first stop is to a vet clinic. Nat'l had a really scary, for me, episode yesterday. I was taking her on a walk and I noticed that her head was tilting to the left, and then she had a slight limp on her right front leg, and it kind of quickly progressed over maybe a minute's time to like a severe head tilt and a severe limp, and her holding her leg all the way up, like at shoulder height. So obviously something was going on. I checked both her ear and her leg. There's nothing in it. And I honestly worried that she was on the verge of having a stroke or a seizure. I mean, my mind just went to the absolute worst case scenario. So I picked her up and walked her back, carried her back to the trailer. And by the time I got back to the trailer, she was back to normal and was fine the whole rest of the day. But it really, really scared me. So we've made an appointment first thing this morning to see a vet and just have her checked over. We just had routine blood work done earlier this year. Everything came back normal, but she is approaching 10 years old, so just trying to keep everyone healthy. So fingers crossed we get a good report from the vet. We'll keep you updated. Got our vet records, got a dog, headed in. Wish us luck. All right, all is well. She did a complete physical on her and everything is as it should be. She's healthy. It's an unexplained incident, so we're just gonna closely monitor it and hope it doesn't happen again, but if it does, we'll address it. Part of life on the road with animals. Okay, with Nat'l taken care of, we have made the few-hour drive into Kentucky and are headed into Mammoth Cave National Park. We are hoping to be able to grab a walk-up ticket for a cave tour this afternoon. Reservations are recommended. This is apparently a pretty busy park and tours sell out quickly, so don't, if you ever come to visit, don't expect to get a walk-up tour, but from what I can tell by researching online, there are walk-up tickets available and they're not real busy today. So hopefully that's true and works in our favor and we're able to catch a tour this afternoon. Well, we were able to book a couple of spots on the historic tour. The only way to see Mammoth Cave is by doing a guided tour. Yep. So different than Carlsbad in that way. Carlsbad, you just bought a ticket and it was all self-guided.
Yeah. They do offer a ton of tours. I think there's 14.
Right.
And at multiple times a day.
For people like us that have never been here before, they recommend the historic tour. It gives you the most information. But a lot of people come here and do multiple tours. Another one that sounded really interesting was called the Violet something tour. And it's all by lantern light. So that's kind of a neat way to do it and something that sounds kind of interesting. But the one that I really wanted to do is called the Wild Cave Tour, and that one you put on like elbow and knee pads and a helmet and you get like a little light on your head and get on your hands and knees. It's a 6-hour tour where you're crawling through the caves. It's supposed to be pretty intense and amazing. I wish that we could do it, but they only have it on the weekends and it gets sold out super fast. Like as soon as the tickets come available, people buy them up. So weren't able to do that one this time, but for all of you adventurers out there, if you want to visit Mammoth Cave, the Wild Cave Tour would be amazing.
Yeah, check that one out if you don't mind getting dirty.
One of the rangers taking you underground today, and I do want to prepare you for what you've signed up for.
Right, we're headed to the cave entrance. We are descending into Mammoth Cave, the longest cave system in the world. All right, just finished up our historic tour of Mammoth Cave.
Yeah, really enjoyed that. That was a great tour.
Yeah, we've done a couple of different caves. We've done Carlsbad Caverns and Luray Caverns, and this was totally different than both of those.
This will be our 4th cave system that we've done. We've also done Lewis and Clark. It's a totally different experience from one to the next.
Yeah, I agree. You know, you kind of get to a point where you say, how many caverns do I need to see? But don't do that, because they have all been different and they have all been enjoyable in their own way. This one is unique in that it doesn't have the stalactites and stalagmites that you're used to seeing in most caverns. And the geology is what causes that. There's a sandstone roof on this cave that doesn't allow the water down there, and those drips of the water is what causes that.
The water that is coming down is dripping too fast to make those things.
Right, exactly. So, you know, it was definitely different, and I can definitely see why they only do guided tours.
Absolutely, yeah.
It is the longest cave system in the world. There's currently over 400 miles of the cave surveyed.
And they're still finding new routes.
Right, exactly.
To this day.
So it'd be really easy to get lost down there, and there are some really tight sections that I can understand why they don't just let you do your own self-guided tour through all of those areas.
Right.
But there are lots of tours to choose from. There are tours available for those that aren't as mobile. There are tours for kids. So, you know, there's something for everyone here.
Absolutely.
Headed out of Mammoth Cave today. Been staying at a private campground in Cave City, which is just like, what, 5 or 10 minutes outside of Mammoth Cave National Park?
It's a little longer than that, but pretty close.
Yeah, it's in good proximity. It was called
Singing Hills RV Park and Campground.
Yeah, it actually, we were able to get water and 50 amp electric for $18 a night, but in order to get that price, we did join Escapees.
Right. Which we've been considering doing for a while. We just wanted to wait until we had a need, so.
Right, exactly. In the past, we've been members of Good Sam and Passport America, and we've always heard good things about Escapees, so we figured let's give it a try. We're excited to see you know, what it offers.
Right.
So it's been a fine stay in this campground.
It's your typical standard private RV park. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not got the beauty of the state and national park campgrounds, but it did offer us some amenities at a nice low cost. The proximity of Mammoth Cave is really the reason to be here, and that was perfect. So Mammoth Cave yesterday was really cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we made it a point to come here. At one point we had considered skipping it because we've done multiple caverns previously, but you know, it was, I think, $17 a person for the historic tour that we did, and well worth it. It was 2 hours long. We got to see a lot of really cool stuff. It was really informative.
It was a lot of history and just interesting information about the cave. It was really cool.
And that's always the benefit of the guided tours, is that
Right.
you actually learn something rather than just see it and not know what it is you're seeing. So,
And I'm pretty sure we will definitely be coming back in the future to do their more adventurous
tour, the Wild
tour,
Cave
yeah.
tour. Absolutely.
It just sounds like a lot of fun.
It really does.
So we're headed out of here today, heading north, and we're going to check out the Kentucky Bourbon Trail.
Should be fun.
Yeah.